You know what today is. Back for another episode. Let's hang out. What is going on, guys? It's Will. We're back for another episode of Let's Hang Out. It's Wednesday. Of course it's a new episode. If you're checking this out for the very first time on video, that's right, you guys. If you're on Spotify not catching this on video, I apologize. Because you guys are missing out on the first real test run of the episode. Hopefully I got it uploaded just fine. If not, and you're finding this on YouTube, or hopefully TikTok, if I can get that to work, welcome. Welcome to the show, you guys. Bear with me, I'm going to be testing a few things out here, putting this all together, kind of getting my bearings on what I should be looking at, where I'm looking at it, and when to start cutting pieces of the video to kind of splice things together. Because for you guys that are getting to see the behind the scenes for the first time, I don't have a script. I don't normally look at something while I'm doing these episodes, other than the microphone. So for me, for the camera view for you guys to see this, my microphone's right there. That's normally where I keep it. So, if you guys have caught me on streams, you'll notice I check my monitors every now and then for what's going on. This is a whole new scenario for me to work with. So I've got on this monitor here to my side, the actual recording software taking care of everything for the audio side of it. And then on this side of it, right in front of me, I have the video piece, which I'm working on and using for the first time. So again, bear with me while I'm working on this and giving this a shot. It's going to be a little weird, it's going to be a little funky, some things might change, there might be some odd splicing and putting things together. But in the end, hopefully we'll start putting together some awesome video episodes going forward, and I can streamline the process. But as always, guys, let's jump in with the first piece of information you guys always get. We've moved it from the end of the episode up to the front. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you guys for checking things out. If you're on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, any of those sites, you guys, same tag every time, at Letshangoutpod. You can join any conversation about any episode going on using hashtag Letshangoutpod. Each week, I've been trying to come up with a new hashtag to use for the episodes to kind of keep things organized on the social channels. So that way when you guys join in, we can filter by hashtag and I can pick out comments and I can start sharing them going forward. Hopefully you guys are finding that a little more helpful. I've seen some comments, I've gotten a few messages here and there from our regulars. And they're really enjoying the change. They like the adjustment of things. So this episode I had to think a little bit. Had to use the old brain. And this one was a little bit different because it's not a motivational or any of the thing we've been doing recently, the kind of real crazy life talk. There's been a lot of stuff going on. This one is actually going to be my episode to finally praise a group of people who truly deserve some praise. And hopefully you guys have a group like this too. I have this amazing group of friends that I have been playing games with for the last 10 years. And it includes my best friend of even longer. And honestly, I could not achieve half of the wonderful things I've done over the last 10 years without their support too. So this is my episode to praise them and to share some of the things we've done, places we've gone, and just some of the wild adventures that we've shared so far. And I really want you guys, as the listeners here, the guests on the show, to maybe relate to that a little bit more, because hopefully you have that group. Hopefully you have some friends that you can turn to for things, whether it's personal help, whether it's just sharing stories, playing games together, any of that stuff. You know, it's one of those topics that we all joked about in school, and I'm saying we all joked about it because even older generations and even some of the more current generations that I've talked to who are through school and have graduated have said the same thing. They have that group of friends that you grow up with through school. You have the group from high school, and then you have the after high school, after school life friends. And that group kind of shifts around. It's never really the same consistent group from start to finish. You don't have your elementary and middle school friends that all carry over to be your high school friends, and then your high school friends carry over to be your work friends. It doesn't end up like that all the time. In the perfect world, it would be great. And in my case, that's more true than anything. These guys I found completely in the wild, as it were. We were all playing Destiny, which I'm sure if you guys have followed any of my stuff, you know my love for that game. And we all started playing Destiny together back in 2014, give or take. I got into it really early. I was one of the day one of the alpha testing, which I've talked about multiple times on my streams. And a lot of the friends I picked up along the way. So one of the cool things about this whole scenario that's different from the high school friends and the school friends is that besides my best friend and then my one other friend in the group, which I'll get to here in a minute, everybody else I met strictly through online gaming. And it's the wildest thing to talk about because you'll hear all these stories of people that make friends and you guys come up with a friend group that you play with regularly for online games. If you're one of those that plays those, you know, your Overwatch, your Diablo, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, all that stuff. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for online gaming. But if you've ever played an online game and you have a regular group of friends you play with, you can relate to this part of it. English is hard today. But you can relate to this part of this. Because those are friends that you have likely never seen before. And it takes you a while to kind of warm up to them, depending on how you guys communicate. That maybe down the road, maybe you eventually share a face, a photo, and you say, this is me, guys, this is the person behind username, whatever. And I was fortunate enough, again, to have my best friend, and then a friend from school, all come together in this group. And we've shared this amazing game, and this amazing journey through gaming for the last 10 years. It's been unbelievable. It's something that I would have never predicted to happen. Even though I was one of those that was really for the online community and playing games and socializing that way. Because, you know, my generation is the internet creation generation. We're the guys that had to deal with dial-up, had to deal with the phone being picked up and kicking you off the internet and all that stuff. So, like, I was kind of riding that wave of technology is the future. Here's where we're going. Here's what I think's going to happen. Not quite Jetsons level, but you know, old reference for you guys that understand who the Jetsons are. But I've been part of that group that's very much agreed that technology was advancing to the point where communication would become digital, both video and audio. And I was lucky enough to find these guys in 2014 with this one game, and we've been connected ever since. And we have shared milestones. They've been around for my kids. Majority of them were around when my middle child was only 2. They've all been around for my youngest when she was born. They've been there for my wife's graduating and getting her her associate's and her bachelor's degree. They've been there for all kinds of milestones in my own personal life. And I've been there for their stuff, which is amazing. A couple of them were very young and graduated high school and moved on into college, and I've got accepted into different colleges and to jobs. We've had friends that have started businesses of their own, friends that have been promoted up and up and up, and are just, it's amazing. It's one of the most wonderful journeys that I could have never planned to be a part of. I'd hoped that something like this would happen, but you could not plan this. And this episode is my way of kind of putting them out there and letting you guys know that those friendships, they're always going to be looked at a little funny from people who don't quite understand what it means to communicate and network and engage digitally. So for my friends, and I'm just going to use the gamer tags because I don't know how many of them want their actual names out there. And if I slip and throw a name out there, I'm not going to tell you who it is. We're going to start with that right now. But, you know, Saren Duo, Concho Attack, Seventh Sin, Mig Train, Skelly, I don't know which tag you want to go with on this one, Cody Kando, and Witch Project, Angel of Sins. Like, there are so many of you guys. It has been the most tremendous journey to go through and play games with you guys, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for accepting me as a friend. Thank you guys so much. And please, from the bottom of my heart, understand how much I appreciate you guys. So one of the cool things that has happened in the most recent years, and I talked briefly about it on the last episode, and I've talked about it on social, and you guys, if you followed me, if you followed on anything, you guys knew what was coming up this past weekend for me, and for the last 3 years now, we've had an annual gathering of all of our gaming buddies and whoever can make it. And we meet up in Las Vegas, and we just have a guys' weekend hanging out. And in the most awesome way this started, of course, we had to go to the esports arena that's in Vegas, the Luxor. Oh my goodness, why can't I think what it's called? HyperX Arena. And we went there during the whole COVID pandemic when it was all kind of, tapering off and things were starting to open up again. And HyperX was beyond gracious in letting us in there. Mig Train got everything set up, and we had the most amazing time hanging out and just goofing around. We played Destiny and Mario Party, which actually started a tradition of ours now, where whenever we get together, rather than trying to go to the esports arena, we have a Mario tournament, a Mario Party, and this year was Mario Kart, so we've incorporated that in there. I built a trophy after the first year and brought it in. Unfortunately, Seven was unable to get that trophy for that first year, even though he won the very first year. So he got to hold it for a few minutes, and then this year he got to hold it for a couple days. But I have a trophy over on my shelf. I'll bring it over here towards the end. I'll splice this in. And back with the trophy. Had to make sure I cover up the names here because I forgot that I had the names written on them. But this is the trophy that I made. Just a little thing, something a little fun. And it's one of those things that it was a way to show that we were so connected together. It's a nice little nod to, the butt kickery that happens in the game and being able to just kind of brag about it a little bit, that haha, I beat you this year kind of thing, which I beat you guys. I won this year. But it's amazing. It's one of those things that we got together, and it wasn't that awkward, like, first time meeting and kind of testing the waters with things that you would normally have when you're making friends for the first time. And again, this was the first time we've seen each other in person. A lot of us have just seen maybe a picture, a face shot at one point. Like, I think we did a face reveal a few years ago. But even that was real quick. So this was the first time we've all, back 3 years ago, that was the first time that we'd all gotten together and really kind of like engaged personally. And it was a blast. It's forever ingrained in my brain as one of my most favorite memories. One of my most favorite moments getting to meet people. And I've been fortunate to do it again for the last 3 years. Huge shout out to my wife for holding down the fort while I'm gone and for allowing me to do that as well, because she's a huge part of that. She's a huge part of the group too. Everybody knows who she is, and things come up and we all share congratulations and comments and pleasantries between each other. So it's amazing. I love it. It's one of the best things ever. And this last trip we did Vegas again, and years prior, like I said, we did the HyperX Arena. That was the first year we did something really big. We also did an escape room and pulled off like a 1 second finish, literally 1 second left on the timer, and finished the challenge. Played on the hardest difficulty. Was amazing. Blew everybody's mind that we pulled it off. Just a whole bunch of fun. Last year was our biggest group that showed up. I think there was like 8 or 9 of us all together out of our group of like 12. So it's pretty good sized group. But we all met up at an Airbnb and we're hanging out, barbecued, hung out, checked out some tiny spots around Vegas because it was very busy. We for some reason always end up on like the busiest week of the year. Just happens. And of course this year's the same thing. We showed up this year and it was the grand opening, just a week or two off from the grand opening of the Sphere, which phenomenal. The thing is amazing. It was also everybody prepping for the Formula 1 race that's coming up. There was the Twitch convention going on. So the nerds from all over, gamers from all over. There was the When We Were Young concert going on just a few blocks from where we were at. Like it was packed. It was busy. But we had a fantastic time. Got another Airbnb, brand new location. We like to pop around, which is great. It gives us a chance to kind of go different places, and our friend who actually sets everything up for us has been really smart about putting us like 10-15 minutes from different places, so we get to go and experience a lot of stuff very quickly. And one of the big things we do is, our tradition is the first night we're there, we go to a Korean barbecue place. I'm not name dropping them, even though they absolutely deserve all the praise in the world. Just because I don't want it to get too busy. It's, again, just call me selfish. I want to keep that kind of a secret so that way it doesn't get busy. But A+ every time. The waitress actually recognized us this time, and as we were leaving, she said, "Hey guys, I'll see you next year." Like, it was amazing. I love it. It's our favorite thing to do. It's the first thing we do together, and then we kind of set our pace for the rest of the weekend and find something fun to do. But these guys, truly, I cannot think of my life without these guys around, and that's wild to say. Because again, you think about it, the technological world and the way things have gone, like, I would understand having friends and, playing games together if I didn't have such a connection with them and I could walk away. But at this point, we've done so much together beyond games that it would feel very empty to separate and lose them, in any regard. And with our gaming community, like, of course we have people that come in and leave and all that stuff. That's part of the community, part of the game that we play. It sucks to lose people every now and then, but this core group of friends has stayed together through some of the craziest stuff. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like having to part ways for any reason, any weird reason. But they truly are a huge part of my life, and I look forward to the trip every year. It's kind of that mental reset, which is why, like, this week I came back with all the drive in the world to get caught up on things and to kind of take some time and refocus on stuff. I've been working a lot behind the scenes. It's just that it's like that mental reset that we always talk about. And I've talked about it in a few different episodes, where you need to kind of detach from the norm and reset yourself. And it's what this is for me. That's exactly what this is for me. Is that I get to step away from life and just kind of hang out and just be a dude. I know it sounds stupid, but it's really it. And I look forward to it every year. Next year, we've already got kind of the key idea where we're going figured out, what the main attraction's going to be, and I'm looking forward to getting that all planned out. I'm looking forward to hanging out with the guys again. Mig Train is my dad bro. One of my two dad bros. You guys have had the opportunity to hear him on one of the earlier episodes. He's been in 2 of the episodes so far. He's our only 2-time guest. But I'm really hoping that as time goes on, we can start having more of the guys show up and the group gets a little bigger. Not too wild, because it's a lot of people to manage. Be a lot of vehicles moving around, but I'd love to have, Zerelius, again, another guest from episodes back. My other dad bro. I love that guy. I cannot wait for the day that I finally get to meet him in person for the first time. I've got the biggest hug waiting for that dude. And it's the same thing. Like, I see Mig. Mig's the first person I see every year, typically. It's just the way that it's worked out. Year 1, he was the first guy that I met up with. He actually met me. I think he met me at the place I was staying, and then we rode out together. Year 2, same thing. He actually met me. No, I take it back. Last year, he was not the first person I saw. Cody Kondo was Kondo, whatever. I can't. I always get the A and the O flipped around. Cody was there. He was actually a surprise for Concho, and we met up at the airport literally right after I got off the flight. As I was walking down the terminal, heading back towards the main gallery area, we crossed paths, and that's where we started. And then we met up with Mig. Mig was the official first person who I'd planned to see, who I finally got to meet up with again. And then this year, same thing, met up with him, and it's the biggest hug every time I see him. And it starts the trip off so perfectly, and I love it. Which is another person who I truly could not go forward with these trips without Witch being part of it. Witch and Seven and Angel, that's my core group of guys right there. Those 4 or 5 total. They put everything in such a good space. They put me in such a good headspace when we start things off. It's just seeing them and getting to share a moment with them and be like, we did it, guys, we're back. It puts you in a good mood. And it's exactly what I need. And it's the same feeling when we're playing games. Like, any of them are online and we meet up to play whatever we're playing. And it's that excitement, you know? It's that kid getting to see somebody you really like kind of feeling. So I love that continues even in person, and I'm forever fortunate that I get to do that. I look forward to Vegas every year, and hopefully that's something you guys get to do too. Hopefully, like I said at the beginning, I hope you guys have a group of friends who make you feel that same way, where no matter what you're doing, how silly you are, how ridiculous you may be, and how many dad jokes you may throw out there, which, guilty, I throw a lot of them. I'm forever grateful to have that group, and I hope that you guys have something like that too that makes you happy. But that's really it, guys. I wanted to make sure that I put together an episode and really give these guys the credit due for being the most amazing group of people. Gotta get the best friend out there. He needs to make a trip out. He was not able to make it the first year, and we had him all situated to join, and then things just kind of got turned on their heads for him. So hopefully he can join for one of these, because he's very much missed. But yeah, we're definitely doing it again. Definitely doing another gathering, and I cannot wait. It's a year out, but every day I'm just hoping that it comes a little bit faster. It sounds silly, but it's true. It's a highlight of my year, and you know, there's not a whole lot that I personally look forward to, like moments with my family gatherings, stuff like that. All the normal things. I look forward to those every year, and I know when they're coming. This one's the one that once we pick the date, I am like a puppy chasing a ball, excited. Like, as soon as I know the date, I'm like, is it time? Can we go? Can I go now? But you guys, if you get the chance to hear this episode, which I'm sure that one of you is going to clip this and share it somewhere, just know I appreciate you guys. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do. It is the most amazing thing, and I'm so fortunate to be your friend. And I appreciate you guys for being my friends. But for everybody else who's listening in, I hope you got the warm fuzzies out of this one. Hopefully it made you feel good, because it made me feel good to finally talk about it. We will go ahead and I didn't hashtag at the beginning like I was thinking I was. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna call this one hashtag Vegas Fun. It just sounds right, Vegas Fun. Actually, you know what? It doesn't feel right. We're gonna do this one, Vegas Friends. And yeah, they need the hashtag. I feel like they've earned this one. So thank you guys for hanging out and listening. I appreciate you guys. Everybody who's listening in from whatever channel you're on, whatever country you're in listening to, and I see the different pings all over. You guys, I appreciate you checking things out. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys on the next episode. We're back on a regular schedule unless I throw an extra one out there. Could happen. But we should be back on regular schedule, which means 2 weeks for the next episode. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your week, rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya!